I'm just going to share with you how I met Fred, because it's such a fun story. So I think some people know this. My husband works at Yahoo, where he runs the music business. We kind of deal with that, as we have for many years. And so Yahoo has leadership training, management training, and my husband just refused to go for 2 years. Refused to go. And finally they called him and said, listen, like everyone at the VP level at Yahoo has gone through this program, and you must go through this program. Like, you must go. So my husband deals with this by for a Monday and Tuesday, and he spends the entire weekend complaining about this. The entire weekend. Leadership training, 2 days. This is ridiculous. So he's in a terrible mood. He comes back the first night. It's really interesting. That's all he says. I was like, well, how do you feel about spending a whole other day tomorrow? And he says, you know, I'm okay about it. So then the next day he comes, and he goes Tuesday, and he comes back, and I'm like, so how was it? He goes, it was really good. And then he starts quoting this guy, Fred. He's like quoting him, like we have an argument. He quotes him well. What you really mean is this, well, Fred would say that. And so a couple days into Fred land, which has, invaded my home, I got his phone number and I left a message on his phone. I'm like, I don't know what you do, but I want you to come do it for my team. And so my direct reports, my group of managers at Google and I, the directors, had a session with Fred. And that was well over a year ago. And since then, we've been rolling out the programs he and some of his team are with him here today too, throughout the online sales organization globally. And they're starting to work with some other groups at Google. I will say the following about this, that I think most management and leadership kind of official training is not that helpful at best. And that's been the experience I've had through my career. This has been entirely different. That the kind of lessons Fred has taught me and taught our team and starting to teach throughout Google are things that I think make a difference, not just at work, but in your life. And for me, it's changed how I've thought about work in a really profound way. So I'm thrilled to have this opportunity for this crowd and for the crowd watching the video, for Fred to share his wisdom directly with us as part of his tour on his new book. So welcome to Fred.
So on the one hand, there's this principle: if you want to be successful, you have to sell out. Don't hold on to your dreams. Postpone them, let them go. On the other hand, there are the people that say, and both share the same mental model, it's the same idea, just the two sides. On the other hand is, if you really want to have a life, if you want to live your life, you have to drop out. Just let it go. Commit to yourself, and then forget about big business and all that, because the people that work there have sold their souls. So if you want to keep your soul, you can't work there. You can't do that. Just go to the Himalayas, start a meditative practice, do yoga 7 hours a day, just eat raw foods, and that's kind of the spiritual path. So you can go spiritual, or you can go material, and the twain shall never meet. They go in different directions. Well, the reason I had to write the book is to absolutely fight against that and to prove that it is totally possible to act in a business in perfect alignment with your values. That in fact, the way to build value is to come from your heart, to actually express in your practice, whatever it is. It could be theater, it could be opera, or it could be management. But whatever your practice is, whatever the way in which you engage with the world, becomes the vehicle for you to express what's truly dear to you, what's most important to you. And that's the fundamental idea. It is possible to integrate. You don't have to sell out to be successful, and you don't have to drop out to be in alignment with your soul or to express your soul or your spirit at work. Now that is a nice idea, but the question is, how do you do it? What does it take to actually bring this into practice? And I say, well, it takes consciousness. That's why the name is Conscious Business. Consciousness as the ability to be aware, to connect what's meaningful to you, what you want, the way you want to live your life, the reality that you experience in the world, and the intelligence to engage with the world from the perspective of your values. That's what I mean by consciousness. So doing conscious business is standing in the world, taking a stance. So let me give you an example of how this operates. Let's do a very quick exercise, just to engage your imagination. Think of some character you admire. Just very quickly. Just some person. It could be a historical character, a real person that lived, could be alive now, or it could be some character from a novel or a film. So I don't know. Just let me take the Dalai Lama. I went to see the Dalai Lama last yesterday. It was in Denver, and I went to see his talk. So just I'll use him as an example. You choose in your mind. You choose one. But then ask yourselves, what is it in this character that I truly admire? What makes this character admirable to me? So when I think of the Dalai Lama, is his, I'd say his compassion. The Dalai Lama is supposed to be the incarnation of compassion, kindness and compassion. And I remember when he walked out yesterday, it was like this wave. The whole room melted. It was this. I mean, it wasn't him. It was what he evoked in people. His presence created, like everybody reflecting, what do I want to do in my life? So think in your character, whoever it is, whatever leader or character you thought, what quality do you admire in this character? And then think, how did you observe this quality? So where did you see your character demonstrate that? So for example, talking about the Dalai Lama, say he talked about the Chinese and how difficult it was to engage in a constructive dialogue with them and the pain around that and so on. So that's an example where I observed it. So just those three things. Who's your character admirable? What quality you admire? And how have they demonstrated this quality in the world? How do you know that they are like that? And we'll just take 1 minute, just very, very quickly. I'll ask you to turn to your partner, somebody next to you, sitting next to you, and simply just let them know who it is. Just say verbally who it is that you admire, why you admire, and when did you see them, or what did you see in them to show this.